Apply online. Come join our team of fun.
Experience the magic at the region's #1 Christmas tradition, the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights at Bristol Motor Speedway. See almost 3 million lights on this enchanted voyage, where you can drive on the track and take in our newest attractions, like the Under the Sea Sing-Along experience and the Geico Holiday Lights Scavenger Hunt. Now through January 1st, every night from 6 to 10 p.m. Want to save time at the booth? Buy online at speedwayandlights.org.
It's Bristol, baby!
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart.
Heather's moment has arrived, and you just hope all that training pays off.
Heather lays down her purchase, but Randy rings it up as slowly as he can.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she's looking at the cigarettes.
There's nothing good back there.
Heather's arm is in motion, but she just grabs the gum off the counter.
That's a slick move.
Even Randy tips his cap to Heather. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally wants you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the NBA is telling teams today unvaccinated players won't be allowed to travel to Toronto for games starting January 15th because they will not be allowed back in the U.S. Alabama sophomore quarterback Bryce Young is the overwhelming favorite to win the Heisman Trophy, but ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum says when the time comes, NFL teams may have to think twice about the smallish Young.
If we were running a franchise, guys, we want something that, within reason, has a chance to have sustainability, and history is just going to cut against Bryce Young. And knowing his character, he'll do everything he can within reason to get bigger and stronger.
Mike Tannenbaum on KJ and Max. The Vikings activate cornerback Patrick Peterson from the COVID-19 list. He missed a loss to the Lions on Sunday. Minnesota hosts the Steelers on Thursday night. UConn guard Paige Beckers will be out 6 to 8 weeks with a bone fracture just below her left knee. She got hurt walking the ball up the court late in Sunday's game against Notre Dame.
So, you think you know Wrangler jeans? Well, let us introduce you to some exciting new additions to the legacy. Just check out Wrangler.com and discover tons of new styles, all the latest denim trends, and more.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And the Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Welcome into the Ingalls studio. I'm Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene alongside, as always. And yes, this hour of the program is always brought to you by Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings. Monday Night Football last night. Whoa, that was a doozy, wasn't it?
It was gross.
Let's get the old 14-10 ball game. Who ain't down for a good old 1927 run fest? You?
I am not down for that.
Well,
that was painful to watch. You got one quarterback that can't throw, and one that's throwing entirely too much.
Right.
That's fun.
The wind blowing the goalposts, almost over. I'm shocked we didn't have a scenario of, what was that, 2008? I think it was 2008. Buffalo had a big wind event like that, and they had to fix the goalpost before the game even started. But last night was, it was a surprise. It was a surprise to me. I didn't think that New England was going to be able to go into Buffalo and win, but
somehow it was also a surprise to Sean McDermott, who has the weirdest disease I've ever seen. And I didn't know it until last night.
Okay.
He has this strange disease. Every 40 seconds, he forgets what happened the preceding 40 seconds. I've never seen anything like it.
There was a whole lot of just let's run the ball down their throats. And the Buffalo defense did not have an answer for that.
It was lather, rinse, repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Over and over and over and over again.
Just like the Patriots dynasty. I think that broke Jeremy's brain when I said it. I loved your tweet last night, by the way, too. Like, Bill Belichick is just the cockroach that won't go away.
Yeah, he just never dies. Like, no matter, you can hit him with a book, you can hit him with a Bible, it doesn't matter. He just keeps coming back.
It's weird. It's weird how the greatest coaches find a way to win even when you don't think that they're going to.
Well, and here's the thing. It's adorable that you're going to make the playoffs, and the first competent coach that you come up against is going to squish you like a bug. It's what I've said with Mac Jones the entire time. Your ceiling is really low.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your floor is really high because he does not beat himself. The problem is that with the wind blowing, he can't throw.
No, they threw the ball 3 times.
Fewest in a game since 1974.
Yep. And Mac Jones continues to lead. There was my favorite meme of the day was Mac Jones standing at the podium, and it says, that feeling you get when you do nothing for the team project and you get an A.
Yeah, it's smiling. Yeah, it's me.
It was the Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson show.
But there was one clear winner of last night.
Okay.
It was Joe Buck.
Joe Buck.
Hey, Joe, when y'all have a blowout game, do you ever wish you could have a guest on there that you and Troy could interview?
Yeah, the last time I thought about that was when you guys played Seattle at the Super Bowl.
Mic drop. Oh, mic drop.
Ouch.
Gotcha, Peyton. Hilarious. Joe Buck might be the smuggest human being on earth, and the smugger he is, the more I like him.
Of course.
I loved it. That was the only part of the Manning cast that was even watchable.
I didn't watch
David
it.
Letterman. Enthralling. What David Letterman thinks about football. I'm good.
You don't care?
No.
Really?
Can we just kill that now? Like, man, we're done with that, right?
Yeah.
That was fun for a while.
It was.
And now you can get out of the way and let me and Pat McAfee just slide right in there.
You're not getting that job. Stop it.
Maybe I'll get it on ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Yeah, that doesn't exist, though. That's your only problem.
It can.
Welcome into the program. Don't forget you can see the program now as long as hear it here on ESPN Asheville on the sportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Get into the chat. You have to subscribe to the channel to do that, though. And if you haven't, really, shame on you. You've had a lot of time to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get into the chat. Join the House of Reprehensibles. Get yourself a cool little beer mug to go beside your name in the chat.
Today we will also be picking movies for the second iteration of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yep.
If you weren't here last year, on the screen on our YouTube channel is half of the movies that we did last year.
Nice.
It does leave out the best Christmas movie of all, which is Die Hard. That was oh no, Die Hard's on there.
Die Hard's
yeah,
on
Die
there.
Hard's on there. We also watched Four Christmases. Let's see. It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm.
That was my own personal. I said, if I'm doing this, I'm ending this with It's a Wonderful Life because it's the greatest Christmas movie ever made and the only movie in black and white that I will actually watch.
It's actually the only movie that proves Jeremy does have a heart.
Oh, God, Claire. What day is it, Claire? Love that movie. I finally got my...
You're mixing, like, the Christmas Carol and, like, what day is it?
That's from It's a Wonderful Life. When he comes out of the dream and he goes, what day is it? It's the whole premise of the movie. Have you never seen it?
Clarence was never there when he came out of the dream. It wasn't a dream to begin with.
Oh, I don't know. He just says, what day is it? Look, Clarence is the word I can say is Jimmy Stewart the best. So
I believe the quote you're looking for is, "Do you know me, Bert?" Because Bert called him by his name.
That was also it, but he also asked what day it was a slew of times. I'll pull it up.
No,
this is one of the few movies that I've actually seen more than once.
Yeah, and you're wrong. You're wrong. But anyway, Yeah. We're going to be doing the 12 Days of Christmas movie reviews by one Jeremy Greene. I have a list that I've already started to cobble together of movies that he needs to see. So we'll get into that later on.
Ernest Saves Christmas. I didn't know this Ernest person was until somebody pointed out to me that it's basically Eddie Fox.
Yeah. Or John Cena.
Yeah. I don't see John Cena at all.
You need to look up a picture of John Cena.
Yeah, he's John Cena if you bought him from Walmart. I'll give you that.
No. Google it now. Ernest P. Worrell, John Cena. You won't be able to unsee it once you see it.
I know what he looks like. He looks like John Cena if you deflated him.
Uh-huh.
Ernest is John Cena on December 27th when people are taking down their Christmas decorations and they have been deflated in the yard.
We also will be getting into pretenders or contenders. We've got 5 weeks to go in the NFL season. We'll start out with the AFC. Next hour, we'll talk about the NFC. Who's going to make the push for the playoffs after this whole Buffalo Bills lose to the New England Patriots, and they're now the 7 seed in the AFC? Is there a chance that the Buffalo Bills miss the playoffs? I don't believe that to be true. I don't know anybody who does believe it to be true. I saw they were talking about this on one of the TV shows on ESPN earlier today. And the answer is no. The Buffalo Bills will not be missing the playoffs. They're not
and it's
that
more
bad.
because of the schedule, but they do have a big problem.
The fact that they're so one-dimensional.
Well, the fact that they have to get in front of you. They have the exact opposite problem of New England. New England can't play from behind.
Right.
Buffalo can't stop you if you're trying to salt away the clock.
Ooh, Patrick Holt's got a good suggestion. Santa Claus the movie.
Was that the one with Tim Allen?
No, that's the Santa Claus. This is Santa Claus the movie. This is Dudley Moore. Back in the 1980s, Dudley Moore played an elf.
The drunk guy?
Yeah, the guy that was in Arthur.
Yeah. Off to a decent start.
So anyhow, we will be taking your suggestions throughout the program for not Disney movies, but Disney movies are included as long as they're Christmas.
We
Christmas
determined
movies
this morning on the on the Sportsocracy AM that I have to watch all the claymation movies because I've never seen any of them.
Yes. And I will be bringing you the DVD set of all the Rankin Bass movies. That was the production company that made those back in the day.
I do know that I get compared to something called the Heat Miser a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know what that means, so I guess
you'll
I have to
find
watch
out.
these movies so I know what you're talking
You'll
about.
find out because I am going to. We are going to make you sit through the triple threat of claymation Rankin Bass movies of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and The Year Without a Santa Claus that, yes, did feature the Heat Miser and the Snow Miser.
Home Alone and Scrooged have been said in our comments. Watch both those last year.
Yes, those
Home
were last
Alone,
year.
very good. Scrooged, very disappointing.
Why was it disappointing?
Because it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I like Bill Murray a lot.
Right.
We talked about this yesterday. I like Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
And that movie was not nearly as funny as I wanted it to be.
Okay. It was still a good one. Still
It's
a
better
very
than
good
Elf.
Christmas classic.
Or A Christmas Carol. It'll put your eye out. Stupid.
No, that was A Christmas Story.
Or that's the one I meant. I don't know. They all have Christmas in it. All right? That Christmas Story was stupid. It's bad.
No, not even kind of close. That's right up there in the top 5 of all-time Christmas movies. Anyhow, let's talk about the AFC. The AFC playoff picture as it sits right now. You got the New England Patriots at 1, Tennessee Titans 2, Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs would be your top 4 seeds in the playoffs.
And
those
those
would
are
be
the
your
ones that
division winners.
We feel pretty good that all those teams are going to probably stay exactly where they are.
Yes. The Los Angeles Chargers are the 5 seed at 7-5. Actually, all the 5 to 7 seeds are all 7-5. Los Angeles Chargers, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills. That would be your playoff slate should the season end today. Now, contender or pretender?
And we have buttons. If you're a contender, you'll get this.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
If you're a pretender, you'll get some combination of this.
Out into the cool of the evening strolls
the pretender.
I have a bunch of those.
Very good. All right, the first one. You tell me which one you want to throw up on the screen there.
The one that started this from last night, the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I had the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl before the season.
Yes, you did.
Last night, I officially jumped off the ship because they
Verdict's pretender. Okay.
They're a pretender. That's just all there is to it. This team goes as far as Josh Allen can carry them kicking and screaming because there's just not much else that they do well. Last night, you literally knew what they were doing on every single play. You couldn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just undersized. It works great when you're ahead. When you know that they're passing, you have just hellhounds to go after quarterbacks.
Right.
Problem is, when they start running between the guards, you have no one to stop them because 6 of your 7 guys in the front 7 are undersized.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a problem forever.
I am on the other side of you on this one. I am a contender. Give me a contender.
I could have been a contender.
That's right.
I could have been somebody.
Now, they could have been somebody. They could have been the number 1 somebody in the AFC. It's disappointing to see them 5 weeks to go in the season in the 7 slot. They have lost games that they shouldn't have. They are a very one-dimensional football team to me. And I said this weeks ago.
But they're not. But that's the whole thing. They're not. Just like last night. Josh Allen comes into this game telling media members, I know I'm going to have to run in this game. And then he didn't. Who does that fall on? Coaching staff. That coaching staff is not good. I have never been sold on Sean McDermott. Basically, that whole coaching staff is a combination of guys that I've gone, why do you like them so much? I mean, Sean McDermott looks like Opie Taylor all grown up. And that's the only thing I can figure is that you grew up watching the Andy Griffith Show and you can identify with him at some childish part of your soul. Other than that, he's just not a very good coach.
I don't see a robust running game from the Buffalo Bills. The only thing that they do that scares me, well, Josh Allen's running ability does scare me.
There you go. They Josh Allen very well.
Right. They do. They Josh Allen very well. And when I say they're one-dimensional, it's the arm that really scares you the most from him. Like if they're down inside the 5-yard line, yes, you have to account for him. He's going to, more often than not, get you into the end zone one way or the other. But you don't have any backs that I'm scared of. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, Matt Breida, none of that scares me. And so I feel like this offense is all predicated on Josh Allen hitting the deep balls to Stephon Diggs. Sure, he's got some of the the underneath stuff with Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis can hit one every now and then. But I feel like you're, like you said, unless you get out to a lead, I'm not scared of you.
And I think that's a little short-sighted to say that way. But the problem is that Josh Allen has to be everything. This is what we always said about Green Bay. If Aaron Rodgers got abducted by space aliens, what would Green Bay have been 2 years ago? What Buffalo is now. You have an MVP-level quarterback. He can only do what is called for him. And last night, every time they got inside the 20, it was like Brian Daboll was betting against himself, which was infuriating to me. Matt, one of our lovely members of the House of Reprehensibles, asked, as a Jets fan, who was I rooting for last night? The officials. I was rooting for the Storm and the officials.
Right.
And to be honest with you, the Bills.
Of course.
I don't care who the New England Patriots play. I would pull for the Duke Blue Devils if they played the New England Patriots. There is no combination of 53 people you could put against New England that I would cheer for New England.
Right.
On earth.
Right. I feel like Buffalo is still a contender, but they do have a lot of flaws. They are the least of the contenders to me in the AFC right now.
They just have a very small range of outcomes. And with Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott, I don't believe you can fix this. You have a categoric flaw that you have one person that's really good at stopping the run. When they get taken out, you're in trouble.
Another team that had a disappointing loss this week, the Cincinnati Bengals. Are they a pretender or a contender? We'll discuss it up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some clouds rolling up from the southwest. Rich flow coming up from the Gulf of Mexico into the Carolinas. Could see a sprinkle or two here into the midweek forecast. Low tonight in the valley, 37. Near freezing with elevation. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine, high 50 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a sprinkle or two and a high of 51. Rain chances going up into the weekend on Saturday. 1-inch rains. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy and motivation to popular podcasts and best-selling audiobooks. Right now, take advantage of a special holiday offer and save 60% on your first 3 months. Learn more and sign up at audible.com.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hear that? Sounds like sizzling bacon, right? Trust me, it looks like bacon too, only it's not. It's Johnsonville sausage strips. Strips of sausage in amazing flavors like maple and chorizo. You're probably thinking, whoa, wait a minute. Where do I get my hands on this meaty miracle? At the grocery store. Buy the bacon, even though it's sausage. Whoa.
Raise your hand if you're not here.
ABC Tonight.
I'm Janine Teagues. I've been teaching second grade here at Abbott Elementary for a year now.
After live in front of a studio audience, it's a special premiere.
Jamal, what are you doing?
I had to go and the toilets don't work.
And the rug was plan B.
Abbott Elementary, special series premiere tonight after live in front of a studio audience on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
With the KFC app, you can get your chicken finger licking quick. Quick, 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 quick. Park at the front, then skip the line. Skip, 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 skip the drive-through line. The quicker you get chicken, the quicker you can eat it. Eat it, eat, eat it, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Order on the KFC app or website. Quick, 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 quick pick up. Oh, the joys of KFC quick pick up. It's finger licking quick.
Participation in lobby hours may vary. Use drive-thru if lobby is closed.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, the Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
It's ESPN Asheville. You're in the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Get into the chat today. Hit that subscribe button on the video as well. We greatly appreciate all of your support. We're talking pretenders or contenders in the NFL. 5 weeks to go in the season. Jeremy and I are split on the Buffalo Bills. He thinks pretender. I think they're still a contender, but they're the lesser of all the contenders in the AFC.
Well, I mean, the problem with the Bills is what high-end team are they supposed to be?
I think they have the firepower to beat anybody on any given Sunday. The problem is you're going to find yourself behind the 8-ball against a team like the Baltimore Ravens or even the Cincinnati Bengals that could possibly – you could lose at any moment. They're hanging by a thread, in my opinion. Well, let's talk about those Cincinnati Bengals. This past week, I said last week that that game with the Los Angeles Chargers is going to tell us a lot about the playoff race and what these teams, have to look forward to the rest of the season. Cincinnati Bengals, to me, they're a pretender.
Out into the cool of the evening strolls the pretender.
I just don't know that they're ready yet. I think next year, sure. Maybe you get a couple of more pieces. You get another piece on the offensive line. Get a couple more pieces on defense. You might be ready for prime time. I don't think they're ready for prime time right now. That offense is incredible. And like I said, they are a team that could beat damn near anybody because their offense is so great. And their defense isn't bad. I'm not trying to slight them. I just don't think that they're ready to win big games.
And I say...
I could have been a contender.
Oh, okay.
I could have been somebody.
I look at this team and go, there is a lot of room to grow. Because I fully believe the best player on this team is Jesse Bates. Hasn't been all that good.
Mm-hmm.
He figures it out. Maybe stop turning the ball over. That's, that helps.
Right.
Joe Mixon, I saw somebody said this in the comments. I don't see now who it was, but Joe Mixon fumbled, and it took the life out of him.
Yeah.
But this is a team that has done two things. I have watched them do two things that I have not seen most of the other high-end teams do. First of all, most of their wins are against good teams. I cannot say that about anybody else, especially not in the AFC. The other part of Cincinnati that, this just matters. You came all the way back against the Chargers. You didn't lay down and die. Mm-hmm. I've also watched you slaughter good teams that will be high-end playoff teams. That was a boy, by the way, our Cincinnati, one of our resident Cincinnati Bengals fans.
Mm-hmm. Rob Johnson hit the nail on the head. Draft another lineman, get a side back, and get another stud linebacker, and you'll be ready.
Oh, this team's going to be terrifying. I just look at them. I still have the reservation with Zach Taylor that I've had forever. That's just not going to go away.
No.
I don't think there's anything he can do that's going to make me go, okay, all those things I've said are not the case anymore.
And I think anything short of a complete collapse, he's going to be the coach next year.
Oh, which is unfortunate
Mm-hmm.
because that is such an appealing job.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals are – hell, they kept Marvin Lewis around forever. So.
I also there's another part of this team that I look at of, if you make the playoffs, do you realize what they have to get through just to make the playoffs? You got to win 3 of these 5 games. 49ers at the Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs at the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
You will be battle-tested, to say the least. They will have not played a bad team since the Jets. That's 10 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
That you will have played against high-end competition. You get in the playoffs, you'll be battle-tested. I can tell you right now, nobody wants to play this team.
No.
I will bet most of the AFC would rather play the Buffalo Bills than the Cincinnati Bengals.
Guaranteed. I will, because they're more well-rounded.
They're too balanced, and the defense is it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I know 41 to the Chargers is not good at home.
Right.
But that's just been that's been their MO. They're very inconsistent, but they're also very young.
Right. They're Jekyll and Hyde, and you expect that from very young core teams like the Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't think they're there yet. They can scare anybody, but I don't think they're ready for prime time to win the big games when it matters.
They're in the game of the week this week. They play the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you right now, the winner will terrify teams when they make the playoffs, because they will. I fully believe whoever wins that game is going to make the playoffs.
I think they'll probably both make the playoffs anyway, but that's neither here nor there. Next up in the AFC, pretender or contender, Indianapolis Colts.
I think we actually agree on this one.
Contender or pretender?
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Mm-hmm.
What can this team not do? I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
the one thing that can keep them out of the playoffs is not themselves. It's who they play.
Mm-hmm. They have a very tough schedule coming down the stretch. The problem is, I think you're a contender, but I don't think you're going to make the playoffs. I know that sounds weird for me to say Cincinnati's going to make the playoffs, but they're a pretender, and Indianapolis won't make the playoffs, but they're a contender. It's because I'm not really going to be shocked if Jonathan Taylor continues this run that he's on, and Carson Wentz finds a little, a little extra boost, even though he's played really great this year, not getting the credit that he deserves, I don't think. I'm not going to be shocked if they somehow pull an upset or two in this last 5 games of the season.
I think the thing you have to remember about with the Colts, they're going to win the tiebreaker over practically anybody they come up against because they have 3 NFC losses.
Mm-hmm.
If this team had found what they are now at the beginning of the year, you'd be talking about them as a Super Bowl contender. And I think you still should. The AFC is going to be weird in that whoever makes the playoffs, you're going to see matchups. All right, so just humor me for a second.
Okay.
New England right now would get the bye in the AFC. They have the latest bye week, so they're on a bye this week.
Mm-hmm.
Your playoff matchups would be the Titans and the Bills, the Ravens and the Bengals, the Chiefs and the Chargers. I could make an argument that all 3 road teams should be favored. Not saying I fully believe that. I could make that argument.
You could.
Now slide the Colts in it. Take the Bills out, put the Colts in. Colts play the Titans in Tennessee. You feel great about Tennessee?
No. I don't feel great about it, but I still feel like
and that's fine.
They're the favorite.
A 2-7, when this first came about that we were putting in a 7th playoff team, we universally said that 2-7 is going to be disgusting every year.
Yes.
I don't care who the 7 is. They can go in and beat the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who it is. You get through the AFC to make the playoffs, you are going to be terrifying to practically anybody you could face.
Agreed. This ain't the NFC, which we'll talk about next hour.
Yeah. The NFC, you make the playoffs and you get a plaque with a star on it.
I do feel like Indianapolis is a contender. Now, Jeremy's favorite team to talk about, the Cleveland Browns. Are they a pretender or are they a contender?
This is a team that we had to talk about because of what happened last night.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. You watch New England, you watch a team run the ball down somebody's throat like that. You have to look at anybody that can run the ball like that and go, this is still playoff time. But for me, this wasn't really hard to figure out. Yep. And we put in Cleveland here, and we're lumping a lot of teams in right here.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers, Miami Dolphins, Cleveland Browns, Denver Broncos. I kind of look at all of you the same way. You're going to lose virtually every tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think you're going to run out of time. If Miami had started their little surge 3 weeks before they did, playoff team. If Cleveland had, I don't know, any other quarterback on the face of this planet, playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, kind of lather, rinse, repeat of what I said about Cleveland. You all have that fatal flaw. I can't see how you're going to come out of this because nobody has a really easy run to the playoffs.
No.
You're having to play each other. Everybody's still playing for something, of which that's going to make the end of this season infinitely better than it's been in the past, in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
In other cases, you may not see Tom Brady for a month. But
I think the 7 that we have right now in the AFC playoff standings are the 7 that we're going to have at the end of the season. I just don't know that anybody's going to be able to break into that group. I think everybody in the 1 to 7 range, they're going to have at least 10 wins. And I think Indianapolis is going to be the closest, but they'll struggle to get to 10. Can they? Sure. Is it likely? Not in my mind.
JT Money in the chat said Minshew to the Browns. If the Browns had a mullet, Super Bowl favorite.
Stop that. The Browns are not going to make a run, and definitely wouldn't do it with Gardner Minshew.
100% they would. That's all they need. A mulleted man to take you to the playoffs.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
We are about to see history made in the NBA. Steph Curry, he's only one game away from breaking the record,
according to him.
Ray Allen's three-point record, all-time three-pointers made, 2,973. Curry is 15 three-pointers behind him. And he says, it's a possibility I could do this next game. That would mean an NBA record, 16 three-pointers in one game. I love the confidence. And I love all of the pregame videos that they have been putting out with Steph Curry. Have you seen these? They do one like every Warriors game.
Oh, yeah, where
like
he
in the shoots
tunnel.
it. Yeah, like he shoots it from the balcony and is draining them. First off, I want to know, how many times is he doing that? Is he doing it on the first try?
Not as many as you want him to.
Oh, I know. He is amazing. But he says anything's possible. I could break this in the next game, which would mean he would have to break his teammate Klay Thompson's 13 three-pointers in a game record. I don't think anybody's touching that record, although why would I put anything past Steph Curry?
As our open says, I have seen that jumper up close and personal. Don't put it over.
And that was way before it was refined.
Oh, yeah, that's when he was like 5'7", and I was not.
Right, he was 13 years old at the time. 15 years old.
That was
at
an
the time.
under 15 AAU.
Yeah.
He scored a lot.
Uh-huh.
I scored 6. And I was half of our team's offense.
You know what? I now want to see this happen. I want to see great things happen to great guys. I think Steph Curry is a great guy. And I think 16 in a game, we should see this happen. It's not gonna, but I'd like to see it.
Former NFL player and current Fox Sports radio analyst Rich Ornberger, he noticed something last night that I noticed and a slew of other Twitter users noticed as well. Mac Jones has another similarity to former Patriot quarterback Tom Brady.
Okay.
He was wearing a scuba suit last night under his uniform.
That's
an
really?
old Tom Brady trick. Wear the scuba gear, and then nothing can get to your skin. So you're not just wet.
Right.
And it'll keep you warm and all the other things.
Right.
Apparently, Brady passed this down to current Patriots backup Brian Hoyer, who then imparted it to rookie Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Ornberger posted on Twitter, part of the reason why it's important to have a veteran in the room. I couldn't have said that better myself. That is exactly why you need a veteran for things like this, because who in the world would think to wear a scuba suit in a... I don't even know what to call that. I don't know what that weather event
A
should
wind
be
event.
called. No, a wind event is a hurricane. That was a wind event that had snow and rain and evil and slowly steal your will to live, all wrapped all up in it.
Okay.
I tried to tell you that the weather was going to be abhorrent.
Mm-hmm.
Told you it was going to snow, too. That
Yeah.
lake effect snow. Oh, you roll your eyes.
No.
Did you not watch SVP?
I did.
He did it off and on all night.
I did.
I didn't say you were going to be playing in 6 inches of snow on the ground. I
Right.
said it was going to be snowing. And it was coming down at times.
Yes, it was.
Lake effect snow is a weird little thing.
To me, it ain't snowing if it ain't on the field. If it ain't on the ground, it don't count.
Well, you know what it is on? The ball.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it really difficult to deal with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But when people say, hey, it snowed last night, if I can't open up this window and see snow on the ground, it didn't snow. I don't care.
I
It
hope
flurried.
I thoroughly enjoy watching from Asheville games in Buffalo where it's snowing there.
Mm-hmm.
I would be more than fine if I never saw another flake of snow in my life. Ever. Fine.
This is just another reason why you have the heart of a Grinch.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because snow brings out the kid in everybody, or it should, in my book.
Why?
Because it's awesome.
It's
because it's pretty.
It's flaky water. That's it. So I'm gonna go
Flaky
play.
water.
I'm gonna go build a snowman that's gonna melt in 14 seconds. Or I'll go hit my friends with a snowball. Well,
Not if you build it right.
Well, you're a jerk.
You build crappy snowmen if that's the case.
I've never built a snowman. I never played in snow.
Would you like to build a snowman?
No, I wouldn't.
Come on, let's go and play.
And I don't want to hear you sing that stupid song either. I was never the go play out in the snow kid.
Oh, I was.
I just looked at it. Well, here's the thing. All right, so this is a tangent that I did not plan on going on.
Let's go on.
The blizzard of 93 was on my birthday. All right, that canceled my birthday party. You want to know why I am the way I am? Because snow kept canceling things that were part of my childhood.
Right.
Okay? So I got a little bit of a bone to pick with snow. It's just, okay, it just makes it hard to go anywhere, and then it turns into a sludgy mess, and it's the worst. Okay? It is the worst.
Snow is awesome.
It is awful.
It is awesome. And if you can't see that, then, again, you have a heart that's 3 sizes too small.
Nah, I don't. I mean, based on my diet, I'm going to say I doubt that.
Because, yeah. Your heart is very large in a very tight casing.
Yeah, I would say it's very large in mass.
Wrapped tighter than a Johnsonville sausage.
Yeah. It's sponsored by the McRib.
I've never gotten people who don't dig snow. Like, first off, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's pretty.
Second off, middle of the night, lots of snow on the ground. You could see everything. That baffles me.
What do you want to see? You can see everything. The trees? Yeah, they're in the same place they were the last time.
Uh-huh.
None of those things do anything for me.
It's making snowballs, making snowmen.
And doing what with them?
Having snowball fights.
Oh, look, I've got this big block of ice that I'm going to hit my friends with. Well, you're a jerk, okay? Yeah, put one of those in your freezer and throw it at your friends. See how they react to that.
Uh-huh.
I never got it. You go outside, you're wet instantaneously. Which, by the way, house cat, not a fan.
True. I mean, I used to go outside and play in the snow as a kid for hours. And I remember, like, my mom having to rush me into the, hot bath because she was afraid that I was going to have hypothermia and stuff like that.
That sounds like a great childhood
great.
memory. Hey, my
awesome.
mom had to put me in soup so I didn't lose some fingers. That's a great childhood memory.
It is.
Yeah, mine were sitting in the house going, well, I can't go anywhere. Guess I'll play video games.
Just warm by the fire. Just look at the beautiful snow outside. Listen to all the birds chirping.
That's very underrated. Fireplace, very underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not chopping any form of wood, so I'm all about the gas logs or even this is how basic I am. I'm okay with the LED screen because we do have one of those.
Oh, yeah. Just put that on your television.
The completely fake fireplace that just blows out hot air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Oh,
it's lovely.
Yeah.
Never had to cut the first log. Never had to hire a chimney sweep. Never had to do any of those things.
No, you just pull up YouTube on your TV.
Everybody in the comments is saying basically, I think I'm starting to understand why Jeremy is the way he is.
Oh, yeah. He's broken inside.
I've been told that forever.
That's why.
I don't get it. I've never gotten it.
Snow cream? You never made snow cream?
Okay. To me, that's the dumbest one of all. I'm going to make ice cream out of flake water that fell from the sky and then landed on the ground. So basically what you just told me is you're going to make dirt water.
Ain't no dirt in it.
I'm going to pass aggressively.
Ain't no dirt in
I will eat my briars and you can have your dirt water. That's fine.
There's 0 dirt in snow cream. First off, if you're digging that far down, that's dumb. Don't do that. You take the snow off the top.
I've never done it because I think it's absolutely. Let me ask you.
You add vanilla, milk, and sugar, and it's wonderful.
Okay, let me ask you a question. It's supposed to rain later tonight.
Yeah.
If I gave you a cup and told you to walk outside and catch that and drink it, how stupid does that sound? Like, why would I do that? It's gross sky water. So
how is it gross if it comes from the sky?
Because it fell from the sky. It needs to be
the sky
purified.
dirty?
Yes. The world is dirty, especially when it landed on the ground. You walk there. It's gross. It's all overrated.
So weird.
So overrated.
Weird. I don't understand you at all. Pretenders and contenders in the AFC. I mean, is there really anybody else worth talking about? I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, we know what they are. I don't see them winning any more than 2 more games.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
It might be right at 2. I can tell you they're not going. They will not be below 500.
The Miami
I don't know
Dolphins.
How they're going to do it, but they won't.
Miami Dolphins, same thing. You got 2 more games. This little 5-game winning streak you've been on is fun. You're going to make it to 7, and then the last 2 games this season you're probably going to lose. Because I really feel like there's 0 chance that New England is going to let you have one at the end of the season to even put you in playoff contention.
Miami will win their next 2 games against the Jets and the Saints, and they'll lose the Titans and the Patriots.
Yep.
Patrick Holt said in the comments that I need to learn or a refresher on how the water cycle works. No. Here's what I'll tell you about what I know about the water cycle. I buy things in cans and water bottles from Aquafina. I don't know where it came from. It might have come from the magical world of Narnia. I do not know. And above all else, and I cannot emphasize this enough, I do not care because it tastes lovely. You know what I didn't have to do? I didn't have to go behind my house to the creek and scoop it out with a cup and boil it. I didn't have to do any of those things. Just get a nice little bottle out of the fridge and lovely.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. House cat.
Oh, we get it. Spoiled.
Oh, I mean, I'm fine with that.
I mean, if Jeremy were a dog, he would be that dog that refuses to go outside.
Oh, yeah. I'd be a puppy pad
especially,
dog.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt. I would be a puppy pad dog.
He would.
Yeah.
He would stand at the door. You go outside. Go outside.
No.
I don't want to do that.
Out there. I am good.
He would be the largest lap dog on the planet.
Oh, yeah. I don't like anything outside. I am totally fine. Air conditioning, bottled water.
Uh-huh.
Apparently there's a judgment on the bottled waters that I drink. I don't even know what brand they are. You know what brand they are? Out of our refrigerator that's underneath the table. I don't understand. I don't even know what brand they are.
Can I be honest with you? All of you bottled water snobs, it's all the same.
Nah.
I literally see no difference between any of the bottled waters. Like, hey, you can have this bottle of water that's $4, or you can have this bottle of water that's $1. Okay. Guess which one of those I'm taking. No difference between Deer Park and Fuji water, whatever that's called.
Here's what I know. You can get them all at your local Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Absolutely. And that, my friends, is how that is done. We'll talk about the NFC pretenders and contenders coming up at the top of the hour here, 4 o'clock hour. We've got coaching news in the college world. Oregon, it looks like they have set their sights on their candidate. And frankly, it's a guy that I've thought should have a major job for a couple of years now. I'm excited about it. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Kenny Pickett, Aiden Hutchinson. Those are the 4 finalists for the Heisman Trophy. Did they get it right or did they get it wrong? What do you think?
We'll talk about it later in the show because I actually have a take on that.
Oh, okay.
I think the voting is going to be stranger than people think.
All right. We shall get into that later on as well. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. TheSportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Tell us what Christmas movies Jeremy should be watching as we start the 12 days of Christmas movie reviews by one Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene, coming up starting tomorrow. Tonight, I think you're going to have to watch Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, that seems to be it's been nominated a lot, and I didn't watch it last year.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. It's one of the great Christmas classics of the 1990s.
We're off to a bad start.
I can't wait to hear your opinion on this movie. But continue to fire away your suggestions in the comment section. Coming up next, Green on Green. We'll have the Monkey Knife Fight play of the night for you as well. Jeremy, he's been doing really well in these Green on Greens. You should probably listen up. And don't forget to go to betus.com. Use the promo code SPORTSocracy. We'll tell you all about it up next.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
When the kids turn unholy, Harrelson's Own keeps my patience divine.
Life can be chaotic, but Harrelson's Own CBD helps keep you calm through any storm. We make every bottle of Harrelson's Own from 100% organic CBD, hand-harvested right from the farm. Our nano-emulsified technology makes it so your body absorbs it immediately, so you start to feel it in seconds, not 60 minutes. It's actually one of the fastest-acting CBDs on the market today. Some people take it for general well-being. For me, it just makes everything about my day a little better.
It helps me relax. It helps me be there with my kids. Give your life a boost.
So to sum it all up, you're going to feel the benefits quickly, love the way it feels, pay a fair price, and you're going to thank us for it. Give Harrelson's Own a try, from our family to yours. Go to harrelsoncbd.com to order yours now. harrelsoncbd.com.
If holiday music turns your joy all the way up to 10, then SiriusXM is your home for the holidays. From traditional and country to pop, soul, and so much more, SiriusXM has exclusive holiday channels dedicated to the music that makes your season bright. Listen in the car on the way to the party or in the living room as you're wrapping presents. Visit SiriusXM.com/listenholiday for how to start listening.
Marty, I am the ghost of rewards past, here to show you all the cash back you could have earned on your holiday purchases.
But I get up to 1.75% cash back on all my purchases.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I have a Navy Federal Credit Union cash rewards card.
Well, cool. Happy holidays.
Learn how you can slay the season with the cash rewards card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
Coffee closes on.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
2-2 last night, but 11-5 in the last 7. 38-17 in this segment in the last 30 days. I got one for you in college basketball, 3 in the NBA. First, the Michigan Wolverines travel to Nebraska to take on the Cornhuskers. Michigan is a 7-point favorite. I'm taking Nebraska. I think there is something legitimately wrong with Michigan. I just can't figure out what it is. They got slaughtered by Carolina. They're super talented, but they look incredibly disjointed. And Nebraska has, for better or worse, recruited reasonably well. They can score points. They don't get blown out. I don't think they'll win, but I do think they'll cover. 3 in the NBA. The first one, the Brooklyn Nets travel to Dallas to take on the Mavericks. They're a 1.5-point dog. This is a gut feeling. They're just a better team. Look, I'll tell you the craziest stat you'll ever hear about the Dallas Mavericks. With Luka Doncic on the floor, they're one of the worst defensive teams in the league.
Okay.
With him off the floor, or offensive teams in the league. With him off the floor, they're one of the best in the league. That's mind-boggling because there's no players on this team. Luka does something weird to this offense. I don't really get this line. I know Brooklyn's missing a couple guys, but this is still a weird line to me. Give me Brooklyn -1.5. The New York Knicks are a 1-point dog at San Antonio. This one's easy. They play good defense. San Antonio can't score. I get the home road split. I don't care. They're that much better. Finally, the renewal of the rivalry. The Boston Celtics travel to L.A. tonight. Boston's a 4-point dog. I don't think either one of these teams are very good. So I'm catching more than a bucket on either side. I'm probably going that way. Boston has the firepower to keep up with L.A. It still looks disjointed to me. This line's gone up a little bit. I'm taking the Boston Celtics. I'm taking the 4. I think they win outright.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
Yeah, it's been an even start to the season for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't like their chances.
They're just, it's disjointed.
It's gross. It's absolutely, I mean, Anthony Davis is playing grossly.
Well, Russell Westbrook's never played with a big like that. And so we knew it was going to take some time. It's markedly worse than I could have ever thought.
They're just so old. And I think by the end of it, they're just going to be so listless that they wind up in that 4-team playoff again and just, skirt by the skin of their teeth. All right, go to monkeyknifefight.com right now. You can set yourself up an account and use our promo code SPORTSOCRACY when you make your deposit. And monkeyknifefight.com will match it up to $50 and give you a $5 free play. Jeremy, that free play they can use on your money game of the night.
I feel like this is about as layup as it could possibly be.
Okay.
I am playing the more or less 4X multiplier between the Brooklyn Nets and the Dallas Mavericks. I will take more than 28.5 points for Kevin Durant, who is being guarded by Kristaps Porzingis, who, if you had to make him an inanimate object, he would be a turnstile on a subway. And I will take more than 25.5 points for an injured but still best offensive player on the team, Luka Doncic. That will take your $20 buy-in and turn it into an $80 prize.
Use the promo code TANK, T-A-N-K, at monkeyknifefight.com. Get that $50 deposit match and the $5 free play. Coming up in the next hour, we'll talk about the pretenders or contenders in the NFC. There aren't very many teams that are even worth talking about in the playoff picture at the bottom of the NFC.
No.
The NFC is just so top-heavy.
It is. And, I mean, I would say the best 3 teams in the NFC are probably the 3 best teams in the league. Then you get 2 more that I just don't really know what you are. And then it's a sludge fest. There's one team that the good is very good, but the bad is very bad. And then there's a slew of others that you just don't know what team's going to show up on any given day.
Yep.
But 2 of them are going to make the playoffs, for better or worse.
That is very true. We'll talk about it coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville. Don't forget to go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, join or subscribe to the channel. You can join the House of Reprehensibles as well. And that's the best way you can get in touch with the program here. And don't forget to fire away those ideas for Christmas movies for Jeremy to watch over the next 12 evenings. Well, that we have shows. We have 12 shows starting tomorrow between there and December 23rd, which is going to be our last show, obviously before Christmas, but also of the year. And Jeremy going to review all of those Christmas classics and really, really put a damper on your holiday season because he doesn't like any of them.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some clouds rolling up from the southwest. Rich flow coming up from the Gulf of Mexico into the Carolinas. Could see a sprinkle or 2 here into the midweek forecast. Low tonight in the valley, 37. Near freezing with elevation. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine, high 50 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a sprinkle or 2 and a high of 51. Rain chances going up into the weekend on Saturday. 1-inch rains. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new double steak grilled cheese burrito coated with melty cheese will leave you speechless. So get to Taco Bell and pick one up today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
2021 was another explosive year for podcasts.
Podcasting has evolved at a rapid pace.
Now it's time to honor the shows and hosts who kept us going all year long. Make plans to celebrate with us January 13th, 2022 at our iHeartRadio Podcast Awards.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial, auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a dusty crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage gear shifters. I can't imagine being able to stock 122 million parts. I mean, where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports starting January 15th, unvaccinated NBA players will not be allowed to return to the U.S. if they leave the country. That includes players playing road games in Toronto. 97% of the league's players are vaccinated. Pacers guard T.J. McConnell will be out at least 10 to 12 weeks after surgery today on a torn ligament in his right hand. DeMar DeRozan of the Bulls will miss his second game in a row tomorrow night against the Cavaliers. DeRozan is now in the NBA health and safety protocols. Two other Bulls players tested positive for COVID-19 last week. The Cleveland Browns put David Njoku on the COVID-19 list today. His availability for Sunday's game against the Ravens is now in doubt. UConn sophomore guard Paige Beckers will miss 6 to 8 weeks with a fracture in her left knee. She was the player of the year as a freshman. ESPN has learned the new head coach of USA women's basketball is Cheryl Reeve, the coach and GM of the Minnesota Lynx, and assistant coach on the last two gold medal teams.
At Napa, when it comes to serving you, their motor never quits. From next day delivery to curbside pickup, get the parts you need when you need them. That's Napa know-how.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM. 1400, and of course heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, live or on demand. And also, you can see the show now, live at thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link that'll take you over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/thesportsocracy. And you can subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, join the House of Reprehensibles, our little membership group. Get in contact with the program immediately through the chat on YouTube. That's where we're taking all of the suggestions for the movies that Jeremy needs to see this Christmas season. We did the 12 days of Christmas movies last year, and back by popular demand, Jeremy to ruin all of your holiday traditions. Because he hates every movie that you like.
I don't hate every movie. I liked Bad Santa last year. I was fine with Home Alone. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I just hated a couple of those stupid movies.
It's the whole idea of Christmas. The whole idea of Christmas is allowing yourself to be stupid. Allowing yourself to be like a child. Just the innocence of it all. And that's one thing that Jeremy can't grasp. He loves the raunchy movies. Those were your favorites by far.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why in concocting this year's list of Christmas movies, I tried to add in some of those that I thought you might enjoy. I mean, if you're going to continue to claim that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then this year's list has to include Lethal Weapon.
That's not the one I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say the Batman. Was it Batman Returns?
Batman Returns, yeah. Well, we know you've seen that movie.
I have. That's Batman in it.
Have you seen Lethal Weapon?
It's got
Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Yeah.
I believe
There've been 4
I know
of
I've
them.
seen like the later ones. I don't know if I've ever seen the first one.
The later ones are awful.
You're awful.
With Joe Pesci and Chris Rock was in one.
Yeah.
Gross.
Those were fine.
No. Not even. But Lethal Weapon. I mean, if you're going to say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon has to be one as well. So anyway, we're taking your suggestions on what movies he needs to see this year. Kevin Vick, he's the first one into the 4 o'clock hour with Bad Santa 2.
In. I didn't know there was a second one. I'm all the way in.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't either.
That was one of my. That was probably my favorite one of last year. It's either that one or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I actually watched that one a week ago.
Nice.
Just because.
See, and this is part of the exercise, is getting a little bit of growth, giving you some traditions at Christmas, since apparently you didn't build any as you were a child. We want to try to foster that in you.
I got cool toys, and then I played with them, usually by myself.
That was it.
Yeah,
you didn't do any of that stuff. You didn't you never went caroling. You're a hell of a singer. Why would you never did that?
I'm 2 words. Outside. Oh, wait.
What?
Oh, I got to go to the other side of the board. You keep there we go. Colin.
I'm your huckleberry.
Welcome to the House of Reprehensibles.
That's right.
It's just that easy.
It is. All you got to do is click on the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, and then click the join button that pops up right next to subscribe. Join
Apparently
the House
that's
of
hard to
Reprehensibles.
find on Apple devices.
Yeah.
After the last 24 hours, I don't want to think about Apple. I'm actually boycotting apples.
Mm-hmm.
I won't even eat them. One of our accounts with Apple got locked, and I started having flashbacks to Verizon days. Like, oh yeah, I remember doing this. I remember this being a nightmare and me saying this is why I would never do it. Oh, got it. And now it's mine.
Yep.
Yay.
All right, let's talk about the pretenders or contenders in the NFC. Talked about the AFC in the first hour. If you missed it, you can go back this evening and check it on the podcast, which you can find on the iHeartRadio app.
And everywhere, starting at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. The NFC, as it stands right now, these are your playoff standings. Arizona would be the 1, Green Bay 2, Tampa Bay 3, Dallas 4. Those are your division winners. I don't expect anything to change in all of that. I mean, hell, Green Bay and Tampa Bay are going to sew their divisions up this week.
Yes. You have 3 clinching scenarios this week. They're all 3 divisions, and they're all 3 in the NFC.
Mm-hmm. Dallas, obviously, I don't think anybody's going to catch them in the NFC East. And then you got the Los Angeles Rams in the 5 spot. Washington football team is the 6 right now.
Which is just dumbfounding.
The San Francisco 49ers would be the 7 seed. So who's going to be standing in those last 2 playoff spots? Because we've already settled this, right? The LA Rams, they're going to win enough games to get into the playoffs. They're going to have at least 10 wins. Correct? You still believe that? LA Rams will have at least 10 wins?
Yes.
So they're in.
I do.
that thumping win over Jacksonville didn't really send you?
No, it didn't. But I still think with how bad the part of the back half of that schedule is, they're still going to get in.
Well,
and to me, they're clearly the 5.
They got to go on the road to Arizona.
Well, that's a loss.
They have to play Seattle at home.
That's a win.
They have to go to Minnesota.
That's a win.
To Baltimore.
That's a loss.
And then they are at home against the San Francisco 49ers to close out the season.
Nah, who cares? You've already gotten the 10. That's all you got to do.
Pretty much.
It's the name of the game.
All right, let's talk about the 6th seed. The current 6th seed, the Washington football team led by Antonio Gibson, Ron Rivera trying to lead another team back to the NFC playoffs. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they're going to make it.
The bottom of the NFC is infuriatingly tough to figure out. So you want to start with Washington?
Yeah, let's start with Washington.
Contender or pretender?
It's pretender.
Nope.
Out into the cool of the evening strolls the pretender.
I don't think you can get there.
All right, so explain to me
even
why
if you do,
you think that.
Okay, even if you did, even if you did make the playoffs, I still have no faith that you're going to be able to beat anybody once it comes playoff time.
So your take on they can't get there makes absolutely no sense to me because they still have 3 games with the Eagles and the Giants, who are both bad at football.
But the Philadelphia Eagles are equally bad as the Washington football team.
No, the Washington football team is markedly better.
Oh,
Which
you
is
think
why
so?
I say
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
this defense figured it out. Jack Del Rio finally went, hey, you know what we did? We boo-boo kittied that first-round pick. We should not have done that. So now let's just not ask him to do all of these things because he is bad. And now they have Chase Young. Who cares? You still got Montez Sweat and Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. This team has an insane amount of talent on defense. And this is okay. Maybe I'm adhering a gambler's philosophy to the Washington football team. But when everybody goes one way, you should go the other.
Okay.
What does no team in the AFC or in the NFC do well outside of the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers?
What's that?
Defend. The Rams have been gashed. The Bucs have been gashed. Dallas, I understand Micah Parsons is good at football. They don't have a whole lot, and that defense has been gashed. This is a team that can stop practically anybody on their best day. And what nobody wants to talk about, all of a sudden, that defense looks a lot closer to what we thought it was going to be than what it was. And now you've got momentum because you hadn't lost a game in a month. Already beaten Tampa Bay. You beat the Raiders this past week on the road, which is a good win. I buy Washington much more than I ever thought I would.
Yeah.
And I would say they're the team. They and the San Francisco 49ers, the 2 teams you don't want to play. You want to trot Minnesota out to me? Cool. You couldn't get near my quarterback if I let you play 15 players at a time with no Everson Griffin and no Daniil Hunter. I'm fine. Oh, you can score a lot of points. Cool. So can I. On you. Philadelphia. Okay, you can beat me exactly one way. And it looks very similar to how New England won last night. I'm good.
I don't see Washington winning more than 2 games down the stretch.
So I think you're out of your mind. I think to be honest with you, I actually win 4 games down the stretch because I think they're going to catch the Cowboys once.
I just can't get there. I can't. Are they so physical on defense that they're going to neutralize the Dallas attack?
Let me put it this way. That Dallas-Washington game debuted at 5. It's already down to 3.5. Why? It's in Washington. Washington's on an upward trajectory, and the Cowboys are on a downward trajectory. I still think Dallas is going to win this division. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I think Washington's way closer to the team we thought they were in the preseason than they were the first 8 weeks of the season where they were 2-6.
Okay.
And do you find it ironic, and maybe I'm being tinfoil on my head conspiracy theory guy, do you find it weird that they announced Ryan Fitzpatrick was having season-ending surgery today?
No.
Because I kind of do.
Why? They had already said his season was over.
Yeah, but it wasn't announced definitively. It wasn't like, okay, now we're done. He's going in for the surgery on Wednesday or whenever it's going to happen. It's because now they know Taylor Heineke can be that guy. With this team as it is currently constructed, with Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson out of that backfield, now Ricky Seals-Jones instead of Logan Thomas because of what was a dirty, I don't care what anybody says, that is a dirty play. I still look at this team and just go, some of all parts, I think you're better than Philadelphia. Some of all parts, I think you're better than Minnesota. Then you get into the playoffs and you probably catch Tampa?
Maybe.
Let me put it this way. You pull for a team that's probably going to be the 2.
Yeah.
Which one of these teams do you not want to have to face?
Oh, between Washington and San Francisco?
And Philadelphia and Minnesota. You got to pick 2 that are just, nope, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
It's Washington and San Francisco. I had this right when we did at the midway point of the season.
Right.
There will be an NFC East team, and there'll be the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
What I had wrong was I had Philadelphia instead of Washington. I was close, but I missed it by that much.
I like the fact that Washington is winning games. I like the change that they've made on defense with Landon Collins. Landon Collins has now been moved from safety. He's now playing like this cornerback, linebacker.
Because he's playing in the slot a lot.
Right. Like it's just strange. Like he's blitzing the quarterback from the second level rather than from, deep in the secondary. I don't know. To me, it's, yes, they figured some things out, but I still don't think this team is overall very good. I believe they're going to lose both games to Dallas. They will split with Washington. They'll beat the Giants.
Philadelphia.
I said Washington. Yes. They will split with Philadelphia, and they will beat the Giants.
I don't think Philadelphia can beat them.
And that gets you 8-9.
Yeah, I don't think Philadelphia can beat them.
You don't think they're going to run the ball on them?
And Landon Collins is hurt right now, but should be back.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. I'm just not worried about it. Okay. I don't think Minnesota is good at all. I think they can score, but that's not really a problem for anybody. A lot of teams can score.
Mm-hmm.
They can stop you. And I just think Washington's markedly better than you do. Which is weird because at the beginning of the season, you liked them way better than I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like they're playing like that team, not to quite the level you thought they would be,
mm-hmm.
but you've jumped off the bandwagon and I've jumped on it.
You're right.
It's always weird when that happens to me.
It's fine. Washington, I think they'll be 8-9. They still got a chance, though.
Oh, absolutely.
They got a chance to make the playoffs. San Francisco 49ers, contenders or pretenders?
Out into the cool of the evening strolls the pretender.
Yep, they're pretenders to me. I just don't see it all clicking together. You got Deebo Samuel's hurt. And I think that's the thing. They're so thin that anything like that can disrupt what could be a contender.
But now he'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Sure. But how much longer is that going to last?
Well, I mean, he's had some injury issues. Here's the problem. They still have to play the Falcons. They have to play the Texans, and they're probably going to play a game against the Rams where the Rams have nothing to play for, which is why I have them as a...
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
2 of these teams have to be contenders. Certainly not Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. I don't think in the grand scheme of things, any of them are contenders. Because I don't see you getting into the playoffs and making any noise. I mean, could you scare a team? Sure. But in the end, you're probably going to lose. It's like Washington last year.
Well, that put the fear of all that's good and holy in you in the playoffs. That's what I just said. That's the closest anybody came to beating.
Right, that's what I just said.
That makes you a contender.
Okay.
To me, a pretender is a team that's either not going to make the playoffs or you're going to get in the playoffs and get dusted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this team would get dusted. This team at full health, which I fully believe they will be, they're going to beat the Falcons. They're going to beat the Texans.
Yes.
That gets you to 8. You need to steal one probably from the Rams at the end of the season when I highly doubt they're going to have much to play for because I think they're going to be heavily locked into that 5 seed. Can't win the division because Arizona's won it. You'll be the best of the wild card teams. They have nothing to play for. And Sean McVay has proven when they have nothing to play for, they'll start the kicker if they need to.
Right. I mean, I think they beat Tennessee. Just because Tennessee doesn't. 10-7. Right. Tennessee may not have the weapons that matter by then.
Well, and here's what you got to think about. If what you just said happens, you will go into the playoffs at 10-7, and you will have won 7 of your last 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
So you're coming in hot, and you're catching a team like Tampa or Dallas or something like that is gettable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team that I'm telling you right now. If I was one of those high-end teams, I do not want you coming in my building.
Yeah.
With Debo and how multiple and
yeah. I think they will be in the playoffs, but I don't think that they're going to be able to make a run.
Our new House of Reprehensibles member Colin asked in the comments, if Washington were to get Green Bay or the Cardinals in the first round, do they stand a chance against those teams?
No.
I'm going to say no. But if you catch Tampa Bay, you've already proven you played them twice in a year.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously have something for them.
Was that a 3-point game in the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
It was like 25-22, I think.
And they just beat you a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Green Bay. The thing about Green Bay and Arizona is I think they are clearly the 2 best teams in the league. We're doing power rankings tomorrow at 10 a.m. Spoiler alert, I'll guarantee you my 1 and 2, 1's Arizona and 2 is Green Bay, or vice versa.
Yeah.
I haven't quite decided which order I'm going to put that in.
I think San Francisco will finish out the year at least 9-8. Could be more than that. They could be in a battle with the Rams for that 5 spot if they can get to 10 wins. I think it's going to be a stretch for them to get to 10 wins, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. They are a team that I like a lot of their pieces. Remember that? You remember when we were talking about Trey Lance and whether or not they needed to give up on Jimmy Garoppolo and you just needed to shake stuff up?
I remember.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
That was dumb. We can wait. We can do that in the offseason. This is a team that is probably going to make the playoffs. I will say, had to bet my house on it, they will make the playoffs, but I still don't believe that they are a team that can make a run and make a lot of noise when they get there. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. There are more contender pretenders coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some clouds rolling up from the southwest. Rich flow coming up from the Gulf of Mexico into the Carolinas. Could see a sprinkle or 2 here into the midweek forecast. Low tonight in the valley, 37. Near freezing with elevation. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine, high 50 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a sprinkle or 2 and a high of 51. Rain chances going up into the weekend. On Saturday, 1-inch rains. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow traffic, volume 26 eastbound between Brevard Road and Airport Road. Near the NC Arboretum, Brevard Road southbound is stop and go between Bent Creek Ranch Road and Creedmoor Road. Hendersonville Road moving incident-free. Smoky Park Highway also problem-free. Mills Gap Road no delays. Cane Creek Road incident-free. On the Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new double steak grilled cheese burrito coated with melty cheese will leave you speechless. So get to Taco Bell and pick one up today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
If holiday music turns your joy all the way up to 10, then Sirius XM is your home for the holidays. From traditional and country to pop, soul, and so much more, Sirius XM has exclusive holiday channels dedicated to the music that makes your season bright. Listen in the car on the way to the party or in the living room as you're wrapping presents. Visit SiriusXM.com/listenholiday for how to start listening.
Colleen, can you run back and wrap that? No, oh, you've got a customer.
The holidays came early for the Hendricks Boutique.
Yes, we'll be open even later when it gets
They'll need a
closer.
temp fulfillment manager to tie up the holiday loose ends.
I need some more help at the register. Somebody? Oh, Sharon.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
The People's Choice Awards, hosted by Keenan Thompson, is the only award show chosen by you, the people. So let Keenan hear you.
With nominees in every category.
TV,
movies,
music, pop culture,
and performances from your favorite artists.
Christina Aguilera,
Blake Shelton.
some cool surprises.
Plus huge icon award winners.
Halle Berry,
Dwayne Johnson,
Kim
Kardashian West,
and more.
Hosted by me, Keenan Thompson. The People's Choice Awards, live tonight on NBC and E! And the red carpet starts first, live from E!
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
At Ingles, we're proud to partner with so many athletics organizations to bring you the very best of everything sports have to offer. And we're also proud to bring so many great game day options to you crazy fans out there. Like the best meat in town, crisp, fresh produce, ice-cold beverages, and more. Whether you're loading up for that road trip or preparing for the homestand, we've got you covered. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And, of course, you can join the House of Reprehensibles. You could join just like Colin did. It's that easy. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link.
Get your name said on the radio. You can throw
That's
out all
right.
kinds of things.
That's right.
It's just what the show is about.
And Colin said, you know, when Washington played Green Bay, they played them tough earlier in the season. I mean, that was a 3-score game. I mean, they kicked a field goal with like 2.5 minutes left to make it 24-10.
Yeah, but that game was closer than that game was gross.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Washington's going to win games. Gross.
Yeah.
They're not going to be fun to watch.
I mean, did you watch the Las Vegas game this past week?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we got that one right.
We did, and I still don't really understand how it happened, but it did.
What, how Washington won?
And I had a feeling it went exactly how I thought it was going to go, and it still dumbfounded me.
You know how they won? Played the Raiders. That's how they won.
At Sports Tank ESPN.
We're talking contender pretenders here on ESPN Asheville, and in the NFC, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, which is a team that, you know, I thought it was going to be this easy run through the rest of their schedule, but oh, lo and behold, you got the Washington football team playing better now, and I just don't know how this is going to shake out for them. I do think they still have the ability to split with them. I am always going to, you know, unless one of the teams in the conference or in the division, Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to give you a home-and-home split. And so I think this team probably ends up 8-9 as well. And then it's all going to come down to tiebreakers.
For me, it's real simple. That Philadelphia team's just not very good, and Nick Sirianni's not a good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I still maintain if they would come out and say, hey, Gardner Minshew's go. Okay, now you got a shot. With Jalen Hurts, you have no shot. Playing against that Washington team twice, no way.
I think you do have a shot. With Jalen Hurts, it's going to continue to be gross.
It's so one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. Because you're not scared of the arm. It's the one thing Gardner Minshew gave them this past week was, hey, we still ran the ball 40 times. We still gained almost 200 yards. I think it was like 187 yards total rushing that they had in this past game. but Gardner Minshew was able to give you that second level. You were actually afraid of them throwing on you, so it opened up more running lanes. Miles Sanders is hurt again, which seems to be the week in and week out problem with him. I think they have the ability to – it's going to be interesting. It's already interesting. And what would be better than a massive tie for that last playoff spot? And then you have to do the strings on the board with the thumbtacks of trying to figure out who gets that 7 seed.
Or you just wait for the NFL to send you scenarios like they do us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll impart them to you.
That's right.
And then you don't have to do that.
That's right.
But we're not going to get there because this Philadelphia team is not very good.
So you think they lose both to the Washington football team?
What does Washington do well? Interior pressure. What stops running games? And with Philadelphia at this point, I may be the next running back. Boston Scott's hurt. Miles Sanders is hurt. They're down basically to fully healthy Kenny Gainwell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll pass.
And
I think they lose both to Washington. They still have one with the Cowboys.
They have one at the end.
Everybody in the division.
End of the season against the Cowboys, and then they've got a game with the Giants sandwiched in between those teams, those with the football team.
Well, it's just a brutal ask to ask a team to close out with 5 of 6 division games.
Mm-hmm.
Because they played the Giants a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a brutal ask for a team that's just not that good. I mean, division games are always tough. We talk about with the AFC North. It's true in all eight of the divisions.
Right, but Washington has to do it too. You just believe that much more in Washington.
Yeah, but two of those are against the Eagles. So, yeah, I do.
Okay. I think I mean the Eagles are a pretender, but they can still make the playoffs.
And then we've got one more team in the NFC.
That's right.
And that one's not even vaguely difficult to me.
No, Minnesota Vikings. Pretender or contender?
Out into the cool of the evening,
not even close.
Strolls the pretender.
Kirk Cousins has played like an MVP candidate, and you still wouldn't make the playoffs if they started today.
Yep. You're on the outside looking in right now. You finish off the season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You feel great about that? You shouldn't. And you got to go to Chicago. That's a win. Then you get the Rams.
That's a loss.
Then you get at the Green Bay Packers.
Who are angry because you just beat them a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the Chicago Bears again. I think this is another team that probably ends the season 8-9. We'll have a 3-way tie for that 7 spot.
How in the world are you getting to 3 wins? They play the Bears twice.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to beat Pittsburgh?
I do.
Okay. I have a feeling we're going to disagree about that vehemently this week.
They just beat Green Bay. You're scared of Pittsburgh more than Green Bay?
And then lost to the Lions. You're leaving out a very large headline there.
It's fine. I mean, that's what Minnesota does.
And got pretty well scattered and smothered and covered by the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't buy in this. I don't like Mike Zimmer. I feel like they've quit to a pretty lofty degree. They've lost 4 of 6. You had 2 weeks in there that still don't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you got Justin Jefferson. Now Thielen's hurt. This is the team I believe in the least. I mean, to me, they're closer to the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints than they are to the other 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's saying a lot because I think the Philadelphia Eagles are quite a ways behind the other 2. I just don't buy Minnesota.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. That's the thing. I think the Lions loss, that sealed the deal.
Oh, by the way.
That sealed the deal for Mike Zimmer.
Oh, by the way, here's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 primetime games to end this season. How many wins does Kirk Cousins have in primetime in his career?
None, right?
0.
Mm-hmm. He's 0-9, I believe it is in primetime.
I think it's more than that now.
Okay.
It just all lines up to me for Minnesota to go 6-11. They'll catch one of them against the Bears. They'll probably lose the one in Chicago somehow. And away you go.
Okay. All right. I see it being really close amongst the 3 teams that we just said. Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington football team. And it's going to be up to tiebreakers to decide it from there. I mean, in a year of chaos, why would that not be how this all plays out?
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, I'm going to let you choose, Jeremy. Space or crimes?
Is that even a question?
It's always crimes with you?
Is this the same story? Then it's like space crimes?
No, it's not space crimes.
Because that's going to make me really angry.
It's not space crimes. No. So, in Pennsylvania, there has been a murder. There has been a murder of an 84-year-old woman and her 52-year-old son, who is in a wheelchair. God-awful, grisly murder. Here's the thing. They think they have found the person responsible, the suspect in this case. His name is Kyle Kasparine. And Kyle Kasparine was supposedly supposed to be buying a motorcycle from the guy in the wheelchair. Don't know why the guy in the wheelchair had a motorcycle if he can't ride it. But anyway, that was the story. Maybe that's the reason he's in the wheelchair is because of the motorcycle. Anyhow, the 84-year-old woman and her 52-year-old son, the 84-year-old woman was killed, 52-year-old son in critical condition. Both apparently suffered blunt force trauma to the head. Here's how the police found out who it was. So they did some geo.
Wait a minute. Did you just say they're both in critical condition?
No, the woman is dead.
Oh, okay.
The
I was
son.
about to be like, wait a minute, I missed something.
Yeah, the son is in critical condition. Now, they did some investigating, as police tend to do. They found out that this guy was at the house. He was supposed to be doing this deal for the motorcycle with the son. And as they continued to investigate, they decided to look into his phone records. And what did they find on his phone? Some very interesting Google searches. On the night of the murder, at 11:05 p.m., he Googled how to withdraw on a credit card without putting in a PIN. About 40 minutes later, how to transfer money on your other debit card. At 1:24 a.m., Warren County Fire and EMS scanner. At 8:06 a.m., how can cops identify a murder scene? Also at 8:06 a.m., how do police investigate crimes? Then he looks for how forensic podiatry can identify criminals, Police Chief Magazine. And any murders in Washington, New Jersey at 9:19 a.m. And then finally at 10:01 a.m., how to track a phone. I feel like
you should have searched that first. You should have searched how to track a phone first, because I feel like that was saved all the rest of them. You should have searched, I just committed a lot of crimes. How long before the police picked me up for this?
Right. Anyway, this kind of feels like an open and shut case to me, but what do I know? Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Don't do crimes. Just don't do crimes. And then you won't have to Google how to cover up the crimes.
I also have a crime story. Many of you will probably remember former Chicago Bears quarterback Cade McNown. He was not good at the footballs. Apparently, his wife is not good at the crimes. His wife's name is Christina McNown. They've been married for quite some time, and she was apparently an assistant or a stylist that worked for Sidney Holland, who is a high-end philanthropist. Lot of money. I don't know exactly what this woman does, but she has a lot of money. It's from the New York Post, by the way.
Okay.
Apparently, Miss McNown developed a scheme that she was going to lift high-end designer items, such as purses, clothing, jewelry, from the collection of Sidney Holland.
Okay.
Well, that's a mistake, because that's crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So you should not do that.
Mm-hmm.
Much like your story, online and text messages and phone things will always catch you, because she put the items in her Etsy shop.
Aha!
That is not just crimes, that is dumb crimes. Now you have officially done dumb crimes. She has now been arrested and charged with 4 counts of felony grand theft, and she will be arraigned early next year. There are currently no reports as to whether her husband will be charged for stealing millions of dollars from the Chicago Bears.
Oh.
I told that whole story just for that punchline. I did.
Good for you.
Wasn't a great weird news day, so I found that one on TMZ, found it on New York Post, and I did the whole thing for the setup of that joke.
Very, very nice.
And I even downloaded
Nice. Well done. Well played by you, sir.
Make them laugh. Make them laugh.
All right. Contenders, pretenders in the NFC.
The rest of the NFC is the Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, the Giants. Fox and CBS and ESPN may continue to put those on the in the hunt part of the graphic. They're not.
They're not.
But we did have our first team officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Mm-hmm.
The Houston Texans have officially been eliminated from playoff contention.
Well, look at that.
Crazy thing, Detroit Lions still in playoff contention.
I mean, I guess if they win out.
Mathematically, if they won out, there was still a path.
That doesn't even seem possible. Let's see what my favorite website, 538, has to say about that.
The Lions' playoff chances?
A less than 0.1% chance.
Snowball's chance in Atlanta. That's chances of Jeremy by choice going outside.
Right. The most likely Super Bowl matchup right now? Would you like to guess what it is?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New England Patriots.
10% chance. That's the most likely scenario we have right now. I mean, obviously, you got all these teams that are still in the playoffs. So a 10% chance doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is the best percentage chance you get of any single matchup in these playoffs is the New England Patriots against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And what a field day all of the NFL is rigged people will have.
Oh, that
ends up happening.
That would just be proof positive that the Mayan calendar was off by 10 years. The end of the world will actually be the New England Patriots playing Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it would also be the first Super Bowl that I could not bring myself to either A, bet on it, or B, choose a team to root for.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who would I root for? The commercials?
Yeah.
Ugh.
The referees.
Oh, who's the halftime show?
Oh, that's the good halftime show. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Mary J. Blige.
There we go. There's a reason for me to watch it because I like all of that.
Seth Greene or whatever his name is.
Nope. Can't tell you who it is. I can tell you who it's not.
It wasn't that guy.
Seth Greene is the guy that does the voices of Family Guy.
That's right. He's an actor. What's the name of the other guy? I mean, Eminem's going to be in it. And then there's another guy. And I don't know who that is. He's the young guy that I have no idea what his music sounds like.
Who's shocked? Who's shocked that the young guy is who Tank has no idea?
No clue. Anyhow.
I feel like somebody in the comments will eventually tell. I was going to Google it, and then I realized, oh, wait, I don't care. You had me at Dr. Dre and Eminem.
I don't care.
I'm good.
Yeah. Should be a fun halftime show. And it would be it's Roger Goodell's wet dream. Good for you, Kevin Vick. That's what the league wants to see, though. I have a feeling that's what they want to see. And that would be the one thing to get Tom Brady out of the league, though.
Kendrick Lamar, by the way.
Kendrick Lamar. That's it. Seth Green. How did I get Seth Green out of that?
No idea.
Anyhow, college football coaching news. The Oregon Ducks apparently have their eyes on one very special coach to be their next head coach, and it's Kalani Sataki out of BYU. This guy's unbelievable. And I think this would be
one of your favorites.
He is. It's just his passion. Like, what was it? 2 years ago, I think, he was playing in prime time, or they had a primetime game against Tennessee or somebody. It wasn't even like they were playing a great team, but they were not, they were heavy underdogs in the game. They were able to win, and it was just, he's got this infectious nature about him when he's on the sidelines. You could tell he really connects with his players. I have loved this guy for a couple of years, and I think it's just time that he's going to get his shot on the big stage and go to Oregon with all that Phil Knight money behind it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You're probably not going to be able to keep whoever it is Phil Knight and the Oregon Boosters have determined they want, you're probably not going to be able to keep them away from him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand Texas A&M's got a ton of money and Oklahoma State. I would wager there's not an athletic program that has discretionary liquid capital the way Oregon does.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a home run hire. This is a guy with West Coast experience. He's won at BYU. He won without Zach Wilson this year. He finished one game behind when he finished that last year against a markedly tougher schedule after Zach Wilson left. He's just a great coach. And for me, the thought of having Lincoln Riley and Kalani Sataki battle it out in the Pac-12, that actually makes that conference pseudo-relevant. Do you know who the betting favorite is to get this job right now?
Chip Kelly.
By a lot.
Yeah.
He's name, plus 150 according to Sportsline.
His name has come up all over the place. And
here's my question. I can't figure out why.
Why not? Why would Oregon not look at it and go, we had a good thing going with him, and then he left and went to the NFL.
He had a kooky offense, and now everybody has a kooky offense. He's not ahead of the curve anymore. He's gone to UCLA and been about as average as you could possibly be. And I understand that there's a big difference between UCLA and Oregon. I get that.
I was going to say, does he have the horses at UCLA? I mean, they don't have a super talented team.
No, but he's been there for 3 years. Now you're getting to now it's your players. One of the problems I always had with Chip Kelly was he didn't recruit all that well. He did a great job of getting players that fit his system. And I just think at this point he's not that much better of a coach. It would be one thing if UCLA was the dregs of the Pac-12.
Oh, yeah.
And now at least you're bowl eligible. But to me, that would be a hard sell. Because he's basically failed everywhere he's gone since he left Oregon. To me, Sataki is a home run hire.
Agreed.
And I don't know that I would really look anywhere else. I mean, I've heard Matt Campbell's name because, of course, you have. Hey, Matt Campbell, you do me a favor. Just go ahead and take any other job. I don't care what job it is. I'm tired of saying your name.
Right.
So if you could just take something, that would be tremendous.
See, I feel like Matt Campbell would be a hard sell.
Oh, that wouldn't be a hard sell. He's a very good coach.
He is a very good coach. But that Iowa State team was expected to be one of the, top 6-7 teams in the country this year. And they didn't live up to it.
Well, and there were a series of reasons for that.
I'm not saying Chip Kelly would be an easier sell. I'm just saying
Chip Kelly to me would be the hardest sell of anybody that you could give this job to.
Yeah.
Because Oregon's not one of those programs. Now they expect to be good. The influx of money, and you got the kooky uniforms, and you do all of the things. You get all the social media love. You don't need Chip Kelly at this point. UCLA, they need a Chip Kelly. They need a name that gives people reasons to watch their games. Oregon doesn't need that. You need to go get a good coach. And to me, this is the best one you can hire by a lot.
Yeah. So are they in discussions? Was that the latest report was that he's already been made the offer?
I don't know if he's been made the offer, but everything is trending in that direction currently.
Yeah. Joe Brady, Tony Elliott. I feel like those names have been said a lot as well.
Tony Elliott, I think, is going to get left out of this one again. I do. I think he's going to get left out of this again. He was a real candidate at Duke. But now it looks like the Duke job is going to go to George Edwards, who is an assistant for the Dallas Cowboys.
I wouldn't take that job. I just wouldn't. If I was Tony Elliott, I wouldn't leave Clemson, who they're going to be back in the discussion next year. It's not like, I feel like this year was a one-year blip.
It appears that both ACC jobs remaining open ACC jobs have been filled.
Okay.
We just haven't got the announcement. George Edwards of the Dallas Cowboys will take the Duke job. Anthony Poindexter is going to take the Virginia job.
Anthony Poindexter, where'd he come from?
He's the co-defensive coordinator at Penn State. He was also an All-American at Virginia.
Okay.
He has emerged as the no doubt front runner for that job.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Who's going to take home the Heisman Trophy this year? This is easy, right? We all know who it's going to be. But there are 4 finalists.
I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think.
And one of them kind of surprised me. And Jeremy thinks the voting is going to go very oddly. We'll talk about that up next when we come back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow. 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound is slow between the French Broad River and Airport Road. Near the NC Arboretum, Brevard Road southbound is stop and go between Bent Creek Ranch Road and Clayton Road. Then near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new double steak grilled cheese burrito coated with melty cheese will leave you speechless. So get to Taco Bell and pick one up today. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Double the steak claim as compared to the steak quesadilla.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, the official craft beer of Furman Athletics. Drink different, drink responsibly.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
Experience the magic at the region's #1 Christmas tradition, the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights at Bristol Motor Speedway. See almost 3 million lights on this enchanted voyage, where you can drive on the track and take in our newest attractions, like the Under the Sea Sing-Along Experience and the Geico Holiday Lights Scavenger Hunt. Now through January 1st, every night from 6 to 10 p.m. Want to save time at the booth? Buy online at speedwayandlights.org.
It's Bristol, baby!
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And the Heisman Trophy finalists were announced. So you got Bryce Young. You also have Saden Hutchinson.
C.J. Stroud and Kenny Pickett.
Yep. C.J. Stroud, Kenny Pickett. I think we all know it's going to go to Bryce Young.
Currently, if you go to betus.com, use promo code Sportsocracy, you can wager on who's going to win the Heisman. And the odds on Bryce Young. Now, I'm going to say you're not going to make much from this, but it's free money because he's minus 5,000, which means you have to bet $5,000 to make 100.
He had his Heisman moment against the Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC championship game, throwing for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think that's a no-brainer that it's him.
It is. I just firmly believe that the rest of the balloting is not going to go how people think. Vegas is trying to tell you that it's not going to.
I'm very shocked at number 2 on the list.
Saden Hutchinson. He's going to finish second because he had his Heisman moment against Ohio State. C.J. Stroud, he peed in his pants when he had his chance. So he's going to finish third, and Kenny Pickett will be a much closer than you think fourth. I'm just happy Kenny Pickett got there. I believe dumbfounded that he actually made it there. I thought they were going 3 guys, and it was going to be Stroud, Bryce Young, and Aiden Hutchinson. What upsets me is that Will Anderson is not there because he should be.
Absolutely.
I know he's a sophomore. I know he's a defensive sophomore, but he should 100% be there.
And he has better stats than Aiden Hutchinson.
And you said that in the break, and I rolled my eyes then, and I'll roll my eyes now.
Okay, tackles. 91 to 58. Tackles for a loss. 31.5 tackles for a loss for Will Anderson.
One of you also plays in the SEC. The other plays in the Big Ten.
And I understand that.
There's a lot more possessions in the SEC and a lot more plays in the SEC than there are in the Big Ten.
He has 1.5 more sacks than Hutchinson does this year. I just feel like if you were going to put a defensive player on it, why would you not put the defensive player from the best team in the country?
Because the stats are not what got him there. The fact that he is absolutely unblockable. It's also the thing that's going to make him the first non-quarterback off the board in this draft, and I'm going to be the first one to tell you that. Aiden Hutchinson, at this point, is the universal number 1 pick in this draft.
Really?
Every person I trust in this industry has said that will be the first one.
Thibodeau
has that Khalil Mack upside. Aiden Hutchinson has Jared Allen floor. He has borderline Hall of Famer floor because that's what I keep hearing is he's a longer version of Jared Allen.
Kayvon Thibodeau, he has long been expected to be the number 1 pick in this class since the offseason. Nothing really changed that throughout the season, although
some injury
now you've got
issues.
Some other guys.
The thing that will push down Thibodeau is some injury issues. He got blocked out of plays a lot. Aiden Hutchinson didn't. He also had David Ajabo on the other side. So, you got to kind of see these things for what they are.
Right.
But I did want to say, talking about the Heisman, I'm a little perturbed that Will Anderson didn't get in there because I guarantee he finished 5th. The only thing I can figure is that Aiden Hutchinson got so much of the vote, and there are some purists that just could not vote for 2 defensive guys at the same time.
Speaking of Kayvon Thibodeau, he has already decided to forego his senior season. He will be entering the NFL draft, and he will not be playing in Oregon's bowl game.
Who's shocked? We also have just a slew of news out of the transfer portal that we haven't gotten to yet. Quinn Ewers, bye Ohio State. Jake Hayner at Fresno State. Bye Fresno State. I can't remember how to say his name. The backup quarterback at Clemson. I don't have it pulled up on my screen. He's gone too.
Yeah.
The transfer portal this year is going to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be every year from now on because you have these 5-star guys who don't get their shot, and if they lose a battle with another 5-star kid, they're going to transfer. This was all about this is what I was all about. I like the free agency period of college football.
I don't.
Why not?
Because it's just a meat market. Quinn Ewers goes to Ohio State knowing full well that there were 5 blue chip 4 or 5-star quarterbacks, including him, on that roster. Then why did you go to Ohio State? Did you really?
Because he thought he had a chance to compete, and he did.
No, he didn't. He never even got the time of day in a watch shop at Ohio State. And to me, that was incredibly incredibly predictable.
But the way the season started out, remember, it was 3 games into the season, and you were saying C.J. Stroud, he ain't the guy.
And I'm still not convinced he is. Where's Ohio State for the playoff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. They're at home.
They are at home. We'll see you tomorrow right here at 3 on ESPN. Asheville Power Rankings for Week 14 in the NFL tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in The Sportsocracy, thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some clouds rolling up from the southwest. Rich flow coming up from the Gulf of Mexico into the Carolinas. Could see a sprinkle or two here into the midweek forecast. Low tonight in the valley, 37. You're freezing with elevation. Morning clouds Wednesday. Afternoon sunshine, high 50 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy with a sprinkle or two and a high of 51. Rain chances going up into the weekend. On Saturday, 1-inch rains. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow. 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound is slow between the French Broad River and Airport Road. Near the NC Arboretum, Brevard Road southbound is stop and go between Bent Creek Ranch Road and Clayton Road. Then near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy and motivation to popular podcasts and best-selling audiobooks. Right now, take advantage of a special holiday offer and save 60% on your first 3 months. Learn more and sign up at audible.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.